My name is Ray McGovern. I'm with Veteran Intelligence Professionals for Sanity.
And Ray, why is it important for you to be here at this demonstration in front of the FBI building?
Well, I know the security apparatus of this government. I spent 2 years as an Army intelligence officer and almost 28 as a CIA analyst. What I've witnessed with respect to this edifice behind here, the FBI building, and the Department of Justice right across the street, is that there's very little connection with justice anymore. Lots of connection with petty little laws, but no justice. And when I see someone like Bradley Manning, who had the courage of his convictions to say, these are war crimes that I have witnessed personally in Iraq, these are war crimes that I read about every day because I have access to this information, what should I do? Should I keep my mouth shut just like everybody else? And so this is one 22-year-old fellow who had the courage of his convictions and said, look, I'm not going to sell this to the Russians, as was suggested to him. I'm not going to sell it to whomever. I'm going to make it available to the American people so that they can know what's going on. They can debate all this, and that's how we can come to a resolution and a reform of what's going on. Now, how did the Justice Department and the FBI react to that? They want to kill the messenger. They want to kill Bradley Manning. Obviously, they want to kill Julian Assange, head of WikiLeaks. Well, why? Well, because now the abuses of our government are out, and there are only 1% of the cables released from the State Department. Now, what does Eric Holder, who runs this place here?
I'm going to span over, Ray, and look at that building right now. So that's the Justice Department.
Yeah, Eric Holder runs that place, and it's supposed to be a place devoted to justice. But no longer is the case. I mean, starting with Ashcroft, going through to Gonzalez and Mukasey. I thought Eric Holder, I mean, maybe a little prejudice. He's from the Bronx, and so am I. But a lot of guys from the Bronx, like Eric Holder and Colin Powell, forget their roots, forget where they came from. So here's Eric Holder, our supreme law enforcement officer of this government, sworn to protect and defend the Constitution, saying, well, in going after these people like Assange, we're trying to use this espionage law. It doesn't really work really well, but maybe we'll create a new law, and bear in mind we have other tools at our disposal. Here's the supreme law enforcement officer of our government suggesting other tools, and everyone knows what other tools are, okay? The president doesn't even have to approve assassination of American citizens, much less Julian Assange. Now that is all being carried out by people who are only following orders, just as in World War II. And that's against the Nuremberg principle, because you are not exculpated just because you are following orders. Now, one particularly pernicious aspect of this is there used to be a divider between what the CIA was allowed to do abroad, like off our shores, and what the FBI was allowed to do in this country. Now you've got FBI people crawling all over the stations abroad, and you got CIA people sitting in what they call joint task forces, where that information is shared, and people like you and me get on these lists, where not only can't we fly, but we're in these haystacks of information where if anybody wants to do something, well, they can pull out, hey, McGovern, he showed up at the 9th Avenue here or in Washington, and he was a protester. Protesters? Well, protesters are being conflated with terrorists. And once you're a terrorist, well, it's just like being a communist where I grew up, you know? I mean, that's the bugaboo, you know? No politician, Eric Holder, the president, could afford to be identified as weak on terrorism, huh? Just like no one could afford in the old days being weak on communism. And so it's a political thing, and people are suffering. And when you look at Bradley Manning and what's happening to him at Quantico, where we're just about to go after this demonstration, you know that he's being subjected to the same kind of torture, and I don't mince the word, it's torture, that prisoners in Bagram in Afghanistan, the same. We had one former prisoner talk about how sleep deprivation works. He said they came and woke me up every 5 minutes. What are they doing at Bradley Manning? They're doing the same thing. Now give me a break. Once you open the floodgates and the Department of justice in quotes, and its implementer, the FBI nicks here, once they just follow orders, then we're lost our soul as a country. And that's why we're here. Because we're the people, we are the people, and we mean to make a difference here by pointing out the abuses of our government and to bring people like Eric Holder back to their roots in the Bronx and say, look, you know what's fair, you know what's not only unjust but illegal, and for you to suggest that there are other methods available to us, well, you know, that's really a perversion of your position, and it's a perversion of your conscience.
Thanks so much, Ray.
Most welcome, Bill.